All right, hello everyone. It is our trades back here with another video. I hope you are all doing well. In this video, we're going to talk about the state of the market for Sunday, March 30th, 2025, going into Monday, March 31st of 2025. And guys, as before we get into this video, a couple of disclaimers. Trading involves substantial risk of loss, including your initial capital or more than that. Do not trade with funds you cannot afford to lose. The following content is not to be construed as financial advice, and I am not a licensed financial advisor. Also, guys, Apex Trader Funding is a prop firm. What does that mean? That means that you potentially can earn funded trading using Apex Trader Funding. If this is something that you are interested in, please make sure to use my affiliate link that is in the description box below on YouTube and will be linked as the top comment on the X post. Also, guys, I wanted to make you aware that I'm doing a sort of giveaway. Uh, guys, I am offering $5 in your cryptocurrency of choice if you sign up for the Robinhood Gold card and Robinhood Gold using my link in the description box below. All you have to do is sign up using my link and then send me a direct message with your cryptocurrency address and proof that you have signed up using my referral. I will send you $5 free of charge on cryptocurrency. This offer is limited to the first 10 people that sign up using my referral link. Again, $5 in cryptocurrency if you sign up for the Robinhood Gold Card using my referral link, guys. Terms and conditions are on the post. Okay, guys. As we head into the week of April 2nd, April 2nd is a big date because that is the date in the markets that the tariff decisions are to come out. Let's take a look at our economic calendar coming into the week and see what we've got moving into next week. Okay, guys, this is on TradingView. We've got ISM Manufacturing PMI, not a huge event coming in on Tuesday, April 1st. We also have JOLTS job openings coming in on Tuesday, April the 1st. That's something to be on the lookout for. Thursday, April the 3rd, we have ISM Services PMI. That comes in on Thursday, April the 3rd. That's going to be a news factor. Friday, April the 4th, is going to be a non-farm payrolls, guys. That can be a very big economic event, so you need to be aware if you are trading the futures markets when these sort of, or Forex, really any markets at all. You need to be aware of when these big events come out. So Friday, April the 4th, we have non-farm payrolls, we have the unemployment rate, and we have a speech from Fed Chairman Powell on Friday, April the 4th. Those are going to be some market moving events, so you should be aware of that. There's also a lot of chatter and sentiment around tariff decisions right now. I would be nervous continuing to hold short, as I bet you the tariffs are not going to be quite as bad as people think they're going to be. That's just my thoughts on it. All right, guys. Let's take a look at the micro ES. These are the S&P 500 futures from a weekly perspective. Guys, last week, the week of March 24th, we had a large bearish candle, what's called a bearish engulfing candle. What does that mean? That means that our last week's candle fully engulfed the prior week's candle, meaning it fully traded all of the prior candles' range. So we had a bearish engulfing candle for last week. So a lot of downside momentum. We're coming into what ICT would call a liquidity block, or excuse me, rejection block. If you're an ICT trader, we're right there on a rejection block at 55.9175. In total, guys, the market made a high last week of 5,837.25. We bottomed out at a low of 56.02 quarters, or 56.0225, and we closed at 56.0275. So we basically closed right at the low, meaning a lot of selling last week. A lot of selling. Last week, guys, the market lost 235 points. That is greater than 4%. From our all-time highs, we are currently trading at over 10%, so we are in correction territory on the S&P 500. These are the ES futures. Guys, from an ICT perspective, here's what I would have to say. If you are trading ICT, ICT would look at what I would call this long wick inefficiency. I would be looking at the 50% point of that as a potential target of some kind. On a weekly perspective, that's 54.15.50. Let's take a look briefly at some moving averages. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the 200 exponential moving average and see where the market is in relation to that. Okay, guys, so the 200 period on the weekly exponential moving average on the ES futures is sitting down at 5,072.67. Okay. And let's take a look at the 9-period exponential moving average. 9-period exponential moving average is at 5,800, and you can see the market rejected. We made a high right on that 9-period weekly EMA, and the market proceeded to move lower. Let's take a look at some of our other indicators if you are an indicator trader. All right, MACD, moving average, convergence, divergence. The market has, here's a look at the MACD. You can see that histogram is reaching a low. MACD, the top line has not quite crossed over into bearish territory, but you can see an acceleration in the downward momentum on the MACD. That's pretty obvious there. So having a look, our orange line value, I think that's a 12 period EMA, or is that a, take a look. Fast length is 12. These are all EMAs, yeah. So the 12 period EMA is at 24.19, and the 26 period, let me just make sure that I'm saying those things correctly. The 12 period EMA is at negative 51.32, and the 26 period is at 24.19. So we can see we had a MACD crossover back on Monday, the 16th of January. It has not since crossed back into the positive, the fast over the slow length. All right, let's have a look at the weekly RSI, Relative Strength Index. All right, the RSI is down below the median. We're not quite in oversold territory on the weekly chart. We're at 3670. That's the lowest reading we've had in quite some time. Last time that we had an RSI at this level was at Monday, the 23rd of October 2023. So quite a long time ago that we last had an RSI reading in around this area of 36. So RSI is quite low, but we're not in oversold territory. All right, any other volume profile? Just want to have a brief look at the visible range volume profile on the weekly chart in somewhat of a, let's see. All right, we're going to bring that back to this sort of period. We're in a kind of a low volume node around this 5,600 area, but we do see that we have lower volume nodes as we get lower. So from a volume profile perspective, if the market wants to continue to move lower, volume profile traders would say we're moving into maybe a period of acceleration if it wants to continue moving lower. I know that I've read a lot of stuff on X and a lot of posts in general saying that if we continue moving lower, you might see some acceleration. The volume profile is also picking up on that. So again, if we move lower, the volume profile is saying, well, we might move lower even faster. So overall, guys, it's been pretty bearish. Looking at the daily chart on Friday, Friday's candle was just a large and imposing down candle. Markets sold off all day on Friday. We're down 2.6%. It's pretty much sold the entire day. Looking at the 15-minute chart, as we come into this Sunday, we can see that the ES futures did gap down. We're now basically filling that gap. But as we started off on Sunday, we have something of a new week opening gap from an ICT perspective. So again, the market gapped down as we start to open the week. All right, let's take a look now at some of our X commentary. So I like to have a look at periodically. Dr. Tip says a stop loss isn't failure, it is control. We agree with that. Take a look at some of our market X wisdom. Google shares are stupidly cheap right now. This is from Dividend Dude on X. Can't believe the low 16 times forward earnings multiple it is trading at. So let's take a look at Google shares. All right, this is Google on a daily perspective, guys. Google had a high on the 4th of February 2025. We had a high at 208.70. Share price is now down to 156.06. Looking at a weekly perspective, we're coming into a low that Google made on Monday, the 9th, September 2024. That low is at 148.20. So just using our basic concepts of support and resistance, we've got some sort of support at our low around 148.20. By if you're trading ICT concepts, our rejection block is at 153.63. If you're trading basic support and resistance, the low is at 148.20. Fundamentally speaking, we've got earnings coming up. Let's see, on Tuesday, the 29th of April. So Google has earnings coming up. According to the dividend dude, according to the dividend dude, it's a buy. I'm not going to say one way or the other. What it feels like being an ICT trader in 2025. Little joke here. My comment on that is there's some good stuff in ICT, even though a lot of people are losing favor with him. I think there's still plenty of people that are trading using his concepts one way or the other. Traders fail. This is from Andrew in FX. Traders fail when they chase profits. They succeed when they manage risk. Focus on survival first, and profits will follow. All right, that's from Andrew NFX. J Trader, the new scalping method I'm using is performing exceptionally well. It has passed multiple evaluations, earned payouts, and backtesting results are incredible. Any time frame, any asset. Guys, if you are interested in being like J Trader and trading using a prop firm, consider using Apex Trader Funding. Again, my affiliate link is in the YouTube description box below. Be like J Trader. Who else had a heart attack just now on Heisenberg? I think that's on the gap down, right? All right, that's from Heisenberg at Mr. Derivatives. Go give him a follow. Ant, I'm not some super popular Twitter dude. I'm just a guy with a middling following and an average life trying to make it out here just like you. I'm entering that's a lot of text. All right. Well, Jedi Ant has some stuff to say. That was too long for me to read. Denise the Trader, trading isn't for everyone, but for those who crack the code, it's like unlocking a wealth generating superpower. Do you have what it takes? Yes, and so does my audience. All right, that's from Denise the Trader. Trader Mike 1234. Losing traders focus too much on being precise, having a super tight stop loss. Focus on where price is drawing to, where is it going. Give it room to work. Don't strangle the play, and your trading will level up. Exactly. It's wrong to try and be. All right, and that's from Trader Mike 1234. Generally agree with that. That's good advice. Isabel, trading psychology expert. Everyone talks about mastering charts. Everyone obsesses over technical analysis. But the real edge is knowing when to step back and do nothing. Think about it. Your biggest wins often come from the trades you never took, the setups you watched, and walk away from the FOMO you controlled. That's where true trading mastery lives, in the space between action and restraint. Stay patient. Let the market come to you. Your wealth will follow. All right. And that's from Trader Isabel, trading psychology expert. Stock whale, Tesla. I expect a bounce early this week, Monday or Tuesday for Tesla. Here's exactly the video you need to make sure you know what to do tomorrow when you want to buy Tesla moving forward. And this is from the stock whale. Let's have a look at Tesla chart. All right. Tesla on a weekly chart currently trading at 263.55. That's a little bit up from last week. So we had a positive close to the week for Tesla. Had an all-time high here at 488.54 back on December of 2024. From that high, we are currently trading down 46%. Tesla taking quite a big hit recently. For some people that are looking for value, a lot of folks are saying that Tesla might be oversold right now. I want to talk to you about something I've noticed from an ICT perspective. We had a weekly fair value gap that the market seemed to more or less respect. That fair value gap was from the week of Monday, the 14th, October 2024, to Monday, the 21st of October 2024, and Monday, the 4th of November 2024. We can see that there was a fair value gap that the market traded back into and then exploded higher. We've since come and used that fair value gap as support. From my perspective, just looking at the weekly chart, I would expect the market to come back into that fair value gap once again. That's what I'm seeing on the weekly chart. I would be cautious right now, throwing in a ton of money into calls into Tesla right here at 263.55. There's a gap that we formed between 17th of March and last week. There's a little bit of a gap there between 251.03 and 255.42. I think there's still a spot of illiquidity back where this old fair value gap is, and the trend has been pretty sharply down. So let's just use a quick trend line. So I would be cautious to say that we're going to bounce here. It's possible, but I would lean on the trend continuing. And I think probably Tesla trades down this week just from what I'm seeing here. Tesla does have earnings coming up. This is something that needs to be mentioned. Tesla has earnings on the 29th of April, 2025. Estimated earnings at 0.482. Revenues coming in estimate at 22.82 billion. Tesla's been under a lot of scrutiny lately, a lot of vandalism around Teslas recently. I'm expecting this probably to bounce back down to around we're going to call it 235. I would guess more likely than not, I'd bet on the trend continuing. That's just my opinion though. I also highly recommend you guys check out Stock Whale at the Stock Whale. All right, and that's from the Stock Whale, guys. Go give his video analysis of Tesla, give it a watch. This is from Diogenes Trades. Here's some valuable advice that doesn't get discussed enough. Once you've locked in your strategy, the next crucial step is mastering how to maintain consistent risk when trading futures. The key is to risk the same amount of money on every trade. Sometimes your stop loss might need to be so wide that even with just one micro contract, it exceeds your risk tolerance. Let's see. Mastering how to maintain consistent risk when trading futures. The key is to risk. I don't particularly agree with that. I think that your risk is in part determined by what the chart is telling you. All right. So I don't, I'm just going to tell you I don't agree with this take. I think that your stop loss is dependent on. All right, QE Infinity. This is from Stealth QE4. These videos of triggered liberals keying people's Teslas really pisses me off. You're a douche if you purposely damage other people's property. I tend to agree with that statement. This is from Steve Burns, St. Joseph Burns, S. Joseph Burns. I always read that St. Joseph Burns. I don't know why. Bears are already pushing down the futures tonight. I will tell you that the futures are now coming back a little bit. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. So they are down 28 points on the micro ES, 15 points on the micro Russell, but we have come back a little bit. That is from Steve Burns. Okay, guys, that is going to do it for this video. If you've been mentioned in this video, I hope that you make sure to interact or engage with this post. I always want to share around other traders on the trading community on X. So I appreciate that, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you are on YouTube, follow if you are on X, engage with the post, use the affiliate links, and that'll be it. Thank you.